Yes, 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 yes. Finally. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It is done. It is settled. Gerald Hato to Chelsea. It's sealed. Oh yes, the player has been given permission to travel to London for his medical. It could be today, it could be tomorrow. But the player given permission. Gerald Hato to Chelsea. Here we go. You know, the news came late last night when most of you might have been sleeping. And I understand our desperation. Chelsea fans, our desperation to get this player to Chelsea. The 19-year-old promising defender. Ladies and gentlemen, Gerald Hato has been authorized to travel to London for medical tests. And then he will sign 7-year contract, 7-year deal. As always, part of the club right now, 7 years, almost all the players, 7 years. By next year, he will be given an additional 2 years extension based on the performances. Ladies and gentlemen, 7-year contract, Gerald Hato to Chelsea on 7 years. It is done, it is sealed. The long-awaited news. Finally. Why is Chelsea fans, why are we so much even interested in this? You see, let me tell you this, We've had Renato Vieira, Chelsea bought last summer. Yeah. Chelsea bought Vieira last summer for a reason. For the same left back position. But Vieira actually did not fit into Maresca's system of play. Vieira is not a player that can invert into the midfield like we see Marco Cucurella doing. And that is not all. That is not all. Hato, the interest of Hato from Chelsea, you see, Maresca, looking at the system of football Maresca want to be playing, or he wants Chelsea to play. Maresca wants defenders who can progress the ball. He wants defenders that can progress the ball, dictate the tempo of the game, and play under pressure. The exciting thing about Hato is that, for sure, he's a top young talent that is able to do all these three. But he also, though he's young, he's just 19 years. Ladies and gentlemen, though Hato is just 19 years, you know what? His record. He has already performed throughout the season for Ajax. Captain of the side. Captain Ajax. He performed like a pro for Ajax. He is composed, he is technically gifted, and tactically versatile. He is already one of Ajax's most important players. That is why the negotiation prolonged. On the face of it, there is a lot of potential in the long term. In the long term, there's a lot of potential there. And he is not just a topmost player for Ajax, he is also a core member of the Netherlands national team. Oh yes, alongside Xavi Simons. They are both core members of the Netherlands senior team, senior side right now as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. So Hato to Chelsea is done. Medicals taking place very soon. I believe any moment from now the player should be landing should be arriving in London for his medicals to take place. It reported, the figures is what I'm not too sure of. Yeah, Sky Sport reported £35.5 million. That's what Sky Sport reported, £35.5 million. Some other sources reported 34 million for a player that is actually worth over 60-70 million, in my own opinion. Because you look at the kind of players that some other clubs are signing for 100 million. You look at some of the players that some other clubs are signing for 80 million, 100 million, 60 million. For Chelsea to secure this, even 35.5 million. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a good coup. Seriously. Seriously. And it comes along with some add-ons. Yeah. It comes along with some add-ons. Fabrizio Romano even reported 37 million plus sell-on clause. plus sell-on clause. Yeah, he says that Gerald Ho will travel to London for his medical. He will then sign a 7-year deal at Chelsea. The fee is 37 million plus sell-on clause. Yeah, that is from some other sources. Now, what does this mean for Renato Vieira? I watch Chelsea fans, including myself, when Chelsea signed Renato Vieira. You remember there was this player we wanted to sign that Arsenal, you know, it's like we baited him and Arsenal went in and picked him up. Then we went in for Renato Vieira. And we were excited, Chelsea fans. And we hyped Renato Vieira. We hyped him. And all of a sudden, we just went cold on him again. Forgive me if I would say there's no need to hype or overhype Renato Vieira. I have just given you the quality that he possesses, but it will not make sense to overhype him. Let me just take it cool so that I will not fall to the same trap I fell for Renato Vieira. Ladies and gentlemen, Vieira had a quality as a left back, but the system we want to play or we are playing right now is where he is having issues. He's got a height, he's got a physique, but the system, ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Now, can we get to some other news? Nicolas Jackson. Just one or two on Jackson, and that's where we can go. You see, Jackson, that Chelsea fans right now, it seems like nobody seems to be rating Jackson. One of our ex-player and a coach, yes, the one that won us the 2012 Champions League in Bayern. I mean, in Allianz Arena against Bayern. Roberto Di Matteo, Chelsea's former coach. He was an assistant, then became the coach and took us to the final of the Champions League. Roberto Di Matteo, this is what he has to say on Nicolas Jackson. Before I go to some important news, he said Nicolas Jackson will have a few clubs looking at him. He's a very good striker. He scores goals and he's got some experience now in England as well. I could see him joining Manchester United. And there are other clubs that are looking for him. Aston Villa could be one of those if they lose Morgan Rogers. Now, that is not all. That is not all. Breaking news. Breaking news. Where is it? Breaking news. Barcelona have emerged as one of the most serious contenders to sign Nicolas Jackson, identifying the Chelsea striker as a potential backup for Robert Lewandowski. Barca has all of a sudden popped up. The next 2-3 weeks before the window gets shut, a lot is going to be happening in the transfer market. Barcelona have identified Nicolas Jackson as a potential backup for Robert Lewandowski, the old man. That should tell you how serious clubs are taking Nicolas Jackson. With the experience he's gained in the Premier League, make no mistake, if Jackson should get to the La Liga, that is an easier to play in than Premier League. You know, La Liga is much more easier. La Liga is much more of a technical or tactical instead of physical. La Liga is much more of tactical, not physical. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me also announce to you, before the real breaking news will be coming later today, hopefully. Deal done, or done deal, and confirmed, Xavi Simons will sign for Chelsea from Leipzig, contract until June 2032 with an option for 2023. You are hearing it first on this channel. I'm taking it again. Done deal. Confirmed. Xavi Simons to Chelsea. Yes. Until June 2032 with an option for additional 1 year until June 2033. It is done. It is sealed. Wait for the official announcement in the coming hours. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from a reliable source. A reliable source. Exclusive. Only on this channel first. You don't believe it? Just wait for it. You confirm it that I've said it first of all on this channel. We've heard over the night, it was all about Hato, right? And I'm breaking the news for you that Xavi Simons deal is done, is sealed, agreement reached in total, and it is 7 years plus additional 1 year. 2032 with additional 1 year until 2033. According to a reliable source. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. It is, don't ask me about Fabrizio Romano. This transfer window, Fabrizio has already failed almost everyone. This is not coming from Fabrizio Romano. He has already failed. News will break up 30 minutes after before you now release and quote another source. So this is from a reliable source. All I'm trying to let you know is that the deal is sealed until June 2032 plus an option of 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, now to some other news. Dortmund will consider a permanent move for Kichuka after Chelsea reduced their asking price to 25 million euros. Yeah, Chelsea finally reducing the price of Kichuka to 25 million euros. The 21-year-old is considered Dortmund's #1 target. So I hope that deal could be sealed. This deal has a lot to do with Xavi Simons and RB Leipzig. So if Xavi Simons' deal is done, I know that this could easily be announced as well. Kichuka to Dortmund, keep an eye on that because he is their most important target for this transfer window. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, let me now go to some other important news so that I can just run up. My time is up. Sunderland are among 3 clubs asking for McGuire's signature on loan as Chelsea are open to his solution. Chelsea want full salary paid and no buyback clause. Straight loan and then back next season. Talks ongoing according to Sky Sports. Now, Maguire is the 18-year-old Chelsea signed from Barcelona last summer. Now he's 19 and he needs to play regularly. Sunderland back in the Premier League. They need a striker that can keep them in the league. And I can predict that next season, Sunderland will not be relegated. Yeah. No, keep this date. Sunderland, next summer, will not be relegated. I'm telling you the truth. Just allow them, let them get McGuire, the young striker that Chelsea loaned to them. Chelsea wants only loan and full salary covered. Nothing like, with a buyback clause. No. Chelsea don't want to sell McGuire. He has a future. Chelsea see him as a future striker. And therefore, maybe even 2 seasons on 2 seasons. Loan for 2 seasons. But then he'll be matured enough and he'll be used to the Premier League. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. Now, yeah. What else? All right, let me go to some other news outside Chelsea and Let me run up. Concrete conversations between Manchester United and RB Leipzig started in the last 48 hours. Face-to-face meeting to take place soon. Asked for who? For the release of Benjamin Cesco to Manchester United. It seems to me United have taken over. They've taken over Cesco deal. They've hijacked the deal from Newcastle. Now listen, Manchester United are pushing for Benjamin Cesco. And as we speak, Newcastle, they fear losing him out, United. Club-to-club talks ongoing in Germany. Manchester United they've opened formal talks for Benjamin Cesco after sending a secret delegation to Germany. Christopher Vieira is the one driving this. Ruben Amorim put in his word for the striker to be signed. Now, if this happens, Newcastle, oh my God, all the deals they try to sign, maybe they might equally turn back again on Jackson. Because the truth of the matter is that if you look at Manchester United position on the league table, 17th on the league table, you would have thought, players wouldn't like to sign for them. But hey, the history of the club, the potential of the club, that is where players are looking at. The name, Newcastle is a traditional club, but when was the last time they won, an important trophy? Many players, they believe that United can still rise, though they are not, in the Champions League this season. Ladies and gentlemen, formal talk between Benjamin Cesco and Manchester United already ongoing as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. What else? I think I'm done for now. I'll be back with more exclusives in the coming hours. Shalom and peace.